I never expected my life to implode on a random Tuesday afternoon, but that's the thing about betrayal. It doesn't wait for special occasions. My name is Bailey, and I was supposed to be at work until 6. Instead, I left early with a migraine that had been building since lunch. The house was quiet when I walked in, except for my wife's voice drifting down from our bedroom upstairs. She was laughing, that particular laugh she uses when she's trying to impress someone. God, Sophia, you should see this place. The presidential suite at the Grand. Preston really knows how to treat a girl. I froze at the bottom of the stairs. Brianna was supposed to be visiting her mother in Connecticut. No, Bailey has no idea. He actually thinks I'm helping Mum recover from her hip surgery. Can you believe how pathetically clueless he is? More laughter. My stomach turned to ice. The best part? Remember that savings account we've been building for the dream house? 50,000 gone. Preston helped me move it last week. Bailey hasn't even noticed. My hands started shaking. I pulled out my phone and opened our banking app. There it was. Or rather, there it wasn't. The account we'd been feeding for 3 years, decimated to less than $100. The diamond necklace Preston got me. That was from our account too. Bailey's so busy with his spreadsheets and data analysis, he never checks the actual statements. I pressed my back against the wall, struggling to breathe. Every business trip, every late meeting, every weekend conference. It all clicked into place with devastating clarity. You should see how he looks at me when I say I have to work late, those sad puppy dog eyes. But honey, I made dinner reservations. But honey, it's our anniversary. God, it's pathetic. My wife's voice dripped with contempt. I could picture her up there, probably lounging on our bed, the bed I bought when we first moved in together, talking about me like I was some joke. Preston's nothing like him. Bailey's so safe, predictable. Preston takes what he wants. Last night I didn't want to hear the rest. Pulling out my phone again, I started taking screenshots of our bank statements, credit card bills, text messages, anything I could think of. My hands were steady now, driven by a cold clarity I'd never felt before. The best part is, Bailey thinks he's so smart with all his analytics and data. He hasn't figured out that I've been using his own money to fund my little escapes. Preston says that's what makes it even sweeter. I heard Sophia's voice through the phone, slightly concerned. Bree, isn't that kind of cruel? Oh, please, spare me the guilt trip. Besides, what's he going to do about it? Cry? Make another spreadsheet? That's all he knows how to do. I turned and walked silently toward the front door, my footsteps masked by their continued laughter. Just before I left, I heard one final exchange that burned itself into my memory. Oh my God, Sophia, you should have seen Preston's face when I told him about Bailey's promotion speech at the company dinner. How he thanked me for being his rock. Preston nearly died laughing. Bree! Sophia gasped, but she was laughing too. What? It's not my fault Bailey makes it so easy. He actually thinks I love him. I closed the door without a sound, walked to my car, and sat there staring at nothing. My wife was right about one thing: I am good with data, and now I had all the information I needed. They wanted to laugh at the predictable man? Fine. Let them laugh. They just wouldn't be laughing for long. I spent the next 3 hours in a coffee shop downtown, methodically going through every bank statement, credit card bill, and text message from the past year. Each swipe revealed another lie, another betrayal, another moment when I'd been too trusting to see what was right in front of me. My phone buzzed. Vince, my best friend from work. Hey man, you okay? You disappeared after lunch. I stared at the message for a long moment before calling him. Bailey, what's up? Can you meet me at Murphy's bar? I need someone to talk to. 20 minutes later, Vince slid into the booth across from me. One look at my face, and he waved down the waitress. 2 whiskeys. Neat. I pushed my phone across the table, showing him the screenshots. His eyes widened as he scrolled. Jesus Christ, he muttered. The whole savings account. Keep going. He swiped through more images. hotel receipts, restaurant charges, a jewelry store purchase for a diamond necklace I'd never seen Brianna wear. "That's from last Thursday," I said quietly, when she told me she was at a marketing conference in Boston. "Bailey, man, I don't even know what to say. Are you going to confront her?" I took a long sip of whiskey. "No, not yet." "What do you mean, not yet? She's stealing from you. She's clearly—" "Sleeping with Preston? Yeah, I got that part." My voice was surprisingly steady. "But I'm not going to give her the satisfaction of seeing me explode. She thinks I'm pathetic, predictable. Fine, let's see how predictable I can be." Vince leaned forward. "What are you thinking?" I pulled out my laptop and opened a spreadsheet. "First, I need to document everything. Every lie, every missing dollar, every fake business trip. Then I'm going to start recording our conversations. Georgia's a one-party consent state." "That's surprisingly calculated." "I'm an analyst, Vince. It's what I do." I showed him another screenshot. "See this hotel charge from 2 days ago? The Grand Presidential Suite. But look at the booking details. It's under Preston's company name. Well, tax fraud?" "Among other things." I took another drink. "You know what's interesting about high-end hotels? They take security very seriously, especially when it comes to potential criminal activity in their premium suites." Vince's eyes narrowed. "Bailey, did you know that misusing company funds for personal affairs is a federal offense? Especially when those funds are being used to facilitate—" I paused, choosing my words carefully. "Certain activities." "You're going to report them?" "Not exactly, but someone might. Someone who's very concerned about suspicious activity in room 7120. I showed him one final screenshot, a jewelry purchase receipt with Preston's name and our joint account number. "Holy shit," Vince whispered. "She used your account for that." "She did. And now I have proof that Preston knowingly participated in financial fraud." I closed the laptop. "Brianna thinks I'm just some boring numbers guy who makes spreadsheets. She's right. I do make spreadsheets, very detailed ones." "What do you need from me?" "Right now, just be ready. Things are about to get interesting at the Grand." Vince shook his head slowly. "I've never seen you like this. Neither has Brianna. That's the point." I finished my whiskey and stood up. She wanted excitement? Well, she's about to get more than she bargained for. As I walked out, my phone buzzed with a text from Brianna. "Working late tonight, honey. Don't wait up. Love you." I smiled for the first time that day. It wasn't a nice smile. Let the games begin. The Grand Hotel's lobby was all marble and mirrors, with chandeliers that probably cost more than my car. I approached the front desk with practiced casualness, making sure to stand where the security cameras had a clear view of my face. "Good evening, sir." The concierge smiled. Her name tag read Evelyn. "How may I help you?" "I need to report something concerning." I kept my voice low, worried. "It's about room 712. Evelyn's professional smile flickered slightly. "Is everything all right, sir?" "I overheard something disturbing. A woman may be in danger up there. There's been suspicious financial activity, possible drugging." I pulled out my phone, showing her the bank statements. "These charges, they're not authorized, and I have reason to believe the room is being used for inappropriate business purposes." Her eyes widened as she saw the numbers. "One moment, please." She picked up her phone, speaking quietly into it. While I waited, I sent the text to Sophia. "Ask your sister what she did in room 7 with our future." Attached was a screenshot of the drained savings account. 3 security guards appeared within minutes. The head of security, a former cop by the look of him, took me aside. "Sir, can you tell me exactly what you've observed?" I played my part perfectly, the concerned citizen who'd overheard things that suggested criminal activity. I mentioned the unauthorized charges, the company name being used suspiciously, the pattern of behavior. "And you're certain about these financial records?" "Absolutely. The charges were made without proper authorization. I have documentation. He nodded grimly. We take these matters very seriously. Given the nature of your report, we're obligated to investigate immediately. Would you mind staying in the area in case we need additional information? Of course, I'll be at the bar. I settled into a seat with a clear view of the elevators, ordered a whiskey, and waited. My phone buzzed. Sophia was calling. I declined it with a smile. The first sign that things were happening was the elevator dinging open. 2 security guards stepped out, followed by a police officer. They headed straight for the 7th floor. My phone kept buzzing. Sophia again. Then Brianna. I turned it to silent and took another sip. 10 minutes later, all hell broke loose. I heard the commotion before I saw it. Angry voices, the thunder of footsteps. Then the elevator opened again, and there was Preston, his expensive suit rumpled, face red with rage, as security escorted him toward the lobby. "This is ridiculous. Do you know who I am? I'll have your jobs for this." Behind him came Brianna, clutching her purse, mascara smeared. She was wearing the diamond necklace, the one bought with our savings. "There's been a mistake," she was saying, her voice shrill. "We're here on legitimate business." "Ma'am, we've already confirmed the company credit card was used without authorization," the officer cut in. "And given the other allegations—" "What allegations? This is insane." More police officers were arriving through the front entrance. I noticed their badges. Financial Crimes Division. Perfect. "Sir," one of them addressed Preston, "we need to discuss some irregularities with your company's financial records." Preston's face went from red to white. "I want my lawyer." "That's your right, sir. But right now, we need you both to come with us." I watched as they were led away, Brianna still protesting, Preston now ominously silent. Neither of them noticed me sitting at the bar. Evelyn appeared beside me with another whiskey. "Compliments of the house, sir. Thank you for bringing this to our attention." I nodded thanks, checking my phone finally. 15 missed calls, 30 text messages, and 1 new email from Detective Annika Knight, Financial Crimes Unit, requesting a meeting. I smiled into my whiskey. The game wasn't over yet, but I'd just made one hell of an opening move. The first time I met Preston was at a company holiday party last year. I remember how he looked at Brianna, like she was something to be conquered. I remember how she laughed too loudly at his jokes, touched his arm too often. I'd dismissed it then, trusted her. What a fool I'd been. Now, watching the chaos unfold from my perch at the bar, those memories took on a different color. "Quite the excitement tonight," Evelyn said, polishing glasses nearby. "We don't usually have the Financial Crimes Unit showing up." "Does Mr. Preston bring many business associates here?" I asked casually. Evelyn glanced around before leaning closer. "Let's just say room 712 has seen a lot of business meetings this past year. Different women, same story, all billed to the company account." My grip tightened on the glass. "Different women? Oh yes, your wife. Sorry, I saw her ID during check-in. She's been here the most, though. Every Tuesday and Thursday like clockwork." Tuesday and Thursday, my therapy days. The sessions I'd started because Brianna said I needed to work on my emotional availability. "The thing is," Evelyn continued, "most of these women, they look uncomfortable. Like they're not sure they want to be here. But your wife? She walks in like she owns the place. Always wearing expensive jewelry, using the premium spa services, all charged to the company card." My hands were steady as I pulled out my phone, opened my calendar. Every therapy appointment, every late meeting of Brianna's. They lined up perfectly. "Speaking of jewelry," Evelyn nodded toward a woman walking through the lobby. "That detective seems particularly interested in that diamond necklace your wife was wearing." Detective Annika Knight strode past, manila folder in hand. Our eyes met briefly, and she gave me a slight nod. The email she'd sent was still open on my phone. "Mr. Erickson, we need to discuss the pattern of financial fraud connected to Preston Montgomery's company accounts, particularly concerning the unauthorized use of personal banking information. Your cooperation would be invaluable. Detective Knight." My phone buzzed again. "Sophia." This time I answered. Bailey, what the hell is going on? Brianna's being questioned by police. Is she? I kept my voice neutral. That's interesting. Hey, Sophia, remember when you laughed about room 712 with her? Silence. Bailey, I can explain. Can you explain the $50,000? The necklace? The therapy appointments I went to while she was here with him? I didn't know about the money, or the therapy. Bailey, I swear. Save it. My voice was ice. You knew she was cheating. You knew she was lying. You laughed about it with her. She's my sister, and I was your friend. Or so I thought. I took another sip of whiskey. Check your email, Sophia. I sent you copies of everything. The bank statements, the hotel records, the texts between you and Brianna mocking me. I wonder what your employer would think about you being complicit in financial fraud. You wouldn't I? Ask Brianna how predictable I am now. I hung up as Detective Knight approached the bar. Mr. Erickson, I believe we have an appointment. I stood, straightening my jacket. We do, Detective, and I have everything you need to know about Preston Montgomery's creative accounting and all his accomplices. Behind us, I heard Evelyn whisper to another staff member. That quiet man. He just took down the biggest fraud case we've seen in years. Quiet, predictable, safe. They had no idea what I was capable of, and we were just getting started. Detective Knight's office was exactly what you'd expect. Cramped, fluorescent lit, with case files stacked everywhere. She reviewed my evidence with methodical precision. The pattern is clear, she said, spreading out bank statements. Your wife and Mr. Preston used company funds to facilitate their affair, while simultaneously draining your personal accounts. And? I leaned forward. And it's not their first time. She pulled out another file. 3 other women have come forward since last night. All employees, all claiming Preston used company resources to pressure them into relationships. Your wife appears to be the only willing participant. I nodded slowly. What about the board of directors? They've been notified. She gave me a knowing look. Though I suspect they already received an anonymous tip about their CEO's activities. How unfortunate for Preston, I said, checking my burner email account. The message I'd sent to the board, complete with financial records and hotel receipts, had been opened 27 times. My phone buzzed. Sophia again. Excuse me, I told Detective Knight, stepping into the hallway. Bailey, please, Sophia was crying. Brianna's being investigated for fraud. They're saying she could face charges. You have to help her. Like she helped herself to my savings? She made a mistake. A mistake? I laughed coldly. A mistake is forgetting an anniversary. She systematically destroyed our marriage, stole our money, and made me think I was the problem. Tell me, Sophia, how many therapy sessions did I sit through while she was with him? Silence. That's what I thought. I paused. By the way, check your work email. HR might have some questions about those text messages you exchanged with Brianna. The ones where you helped cover up corporate fraud. You sent them to HR. Anonymous tip line. Very convenient. I heard her sharp intake of breath. Actions have consequences, Sophia. You helped her laugh at me. Now you can help her explain herself to investigators. I hung up and returned to Detective Knight's office. She was reviewing security footage from the Grand. Your wife's here, she said without looking up. In the waiting room. She's demanding to speak with you. Is she? I checked my recording app. Active. Well, let's not keep her waiting. Brianna looked terrible. Mascara smeared, hair disheveled, designer outfit wrinkled. The diamond necklace was notably absent. Bailey, she rushed toward me. Thank God you're here. You have to tell them this is all a misunderstanding. A misunderstanding? I kept my voice level. Like the misunderstanding with our savings account? She froze. Or maybe you mean the misunderstanding about your Tuesday afternoon meetings. The ones that coincided with my therapy sessions. How did you know? I pulled out my phone, played the recording from that day. Her voice filled the room. Bailey has no idea. Pathetically clueless. "You were home?" she whispered. "I heard everything, Brianna. Every word, every laugh." I showed her the screenshots. "And I documented everything. Bailey, please," she grabbed my arm. "We can fix this. I'll explain everything." "To who? The police? Preston's board of directors? Your HR department?" I gently removed her hand. "Or maybe explain it to the other women Preston manipulated, though they seem to be doing fine explaining things themselves." Her face went white. "What do you mean?" "Check the news. Preston's being investigated for systematic harassment and financial fraud. Apparently, some of his victims were less willing than you." You planned this?" "No, Brianna. You did. I just made sure everyone saw what you'd done." Detective Knight appeared in the doorway. "Mrs. Erickson, we need to continue our discussion." I turned to leave, then paused. "Oh, and Brianna? The necklace? It's being repossessed. Turns out jewelry bought with stolen money doesn't belong to you." The last thing I heard was her broken sob as the detective led her away. Predictable, boring Bailey had just turned her world upside down. And I wasn't finished yet. I was at home reviewing divorce papers when Brianna burst through the front door. Her eyes were wild, mascara streaked down her cheeks. "What have you done?" she screamed. "They're investigating everyone. Preston's being charged. Sophia's been suspended. The board is freezing all accounts." "Sit down," I said calmly, pressing record on my phone. "Don't you dare tell me what to do. You've ruined everything. Like you ruined our savings, our marriage, my trust." I gestured to the bank statements spread across the coffee table. "Please sit. Let's talk about what you've done." She collapsed onto the couch, suddenly deflating. "You don't understand. Preston, he made me feel alive. You were always so boring, so predictable. So you decided to steal from me? I borrowed that money. I was going to pay it back." "With what?" I pulled out more statements. "The company funds you were misusing? The expense accounts you falsified? Or maybe with Preston's money? Except he was using company funds too, wasn't he? You're twisting everything." She leaned forward, trying to look sincere. "Bailey, honey, I know I hurt you. But I love you. We can fix this." "Fix what, exactly?" I played another recording, her voice mocking me to Sophia. "Fix how pathetically clueless I am. Or fix how you laughed about my therapy sessions while you were with him." The color drained from her face. My phone buzzed. Vince's text. "It's done. All remaining funds transferred to the trust account. She's locked out." "Oh," I said, checking my phone. "Perfect timing. You should know I've frozen all our shared assets. The trust fund my parents left me, the one you tried to access last week, it's been moved." "You can't do that." "I already did. And since you're now under investigation for fraud, the courts are unlikely to challenge it." "I'll fight you for everything," she snarled, mask of contrition vanishing. "I'll tell them you knew about everything, that you helped, like you helped Preston pressure those other women." I watched her freeze. "Yeah, they're talking now, all of them. Seems your boyfriend had quite the pattern of harassment, and you helped him, didn't you?" "That's not—" "I didn't—" "Save it for your lawyer." I handed her an envelope. "Divorce papers. I've been generous. You can keep your car and personal belongings. Everything else stays with me." "Or what? Or I send every recording, every screenshot, every bank statement to the prosecutors. I'm sure they'd love to know how you helped Preston target vulnerable employees." She stood up, shaking. "You planned all of this. You're not the man I married." "No," I agreed. "I'm not the pathetically clueless husband anymore. You taught me better than that." "I'll make you regret this," she hissed. "Like I regret those therapy sessions? The ones where I blamed myself for our problems while you were in room 712? Her hand flew up to slap me. I caught her wrist. "Don't," I said quietly. "Every second of this conversation is being recorded. Think carefully about your next move. She yanked her hand away, grabbing her purse. The diamond necklace, I called as she reached the door. The police will want that back. It was purchased with stolen funds, after all. She slammed the door so hard the windows rattled. My phone buzzed again. Detective Knight. Preston's agreeing to talk. Says he has evidence about other conspirators. Your wife's name keeps coming up. I poured myself a whiskey and smiled. Brianna wanted excitement in her life? Well, prison would certainly be exciting. I picked up the divorce papers she'd left behind. She'd have to sign them eventually. After all, it's hard to maintain a marriage from behind bars. The news broke on a Monday morning. I watched it unfold from my office computer, sipping coffee while Preston's perfectly manicured world crumbled in real time. Marketing CEO arrested, fraud, harassment and embezzlement charges rock industry leader. My phone lit up with a text from Detective Knight. Turn on Channel 7. Preston was doing the perp walk, his expensive suit wrinkled from a night in holding. Reporters swarmed him like sharks that had scented blood. Mr. Montgomery, what do you say to allegations that you used company funds to coerce employees into relationships? Is it true your marketing director helped facilitate these encounters? Preston's lawyer tried to shield him from cameras, but the damage was done. His face was everywhere. Another text, this time from Vince. Holy shit. Check your email. The company-wide email from Preston's board of directors was brief but devastating. Effective immediately, Preston Montgomery has been terminated. Internal investigation ongoing, cooperating fully with authorities. My phone rang. Sophia. They fired me, she sobbed. The ethics committee. They have all the texts, the emails. Bailey, I'm so sorry. I never thought. That's the problem, Sophia. You never thought. You just laughed along while your sister destroyed my life. Please, I'll lose my house, my reputation, like I lost my marriage, my savings, my trust. I hung up. The next news alert made me smile. Scandal widens. Marketing director named as co-conspirator in million-dollar fraud scheme. There was Brianna, trying to shield her face from cameras outside the courthouse. The diamond necklace was conspicuously absent, probably in an evidence locker somewhere. My office door opened. It was my boss, looking grave. Bailey, have you seen the news? About Preston? Hard to miss. You worked with their company, right? Through your wife. I handed him a folder I'd prepared weeks ago. Here's every interaction I ever had with Preston's firm. All legitimate, all documented. You'll notice my wife's signature isn't on any of it. He looked relieved. Smart man. The FBI's investigating everyone connected to him. I know. I gave them my statement last week. My phone buzzed again. An email from Brianna's corporate account bounced back. User no longer with organization. I checked social media. The hashtag #RePrestonGate was trending. Former employees were coming forward with stories. The carefully crafted image of Preston's successful boutique agency was shattering into 1,000 ugly pieces, and Brianna was caught in the fallout. Detective Knight called around noon. Your wife's lawyer reached out. They want to discuss a deal. No deals, I said firmly. She made her choices. She's looking at serious time, Bailey. Federal charges. Good. After work, I drove past our house. My house now. Brianna's car was there, stuffed with boxes. She was moving out, just as the divorce papers stipulated. She saw me watching from my car and stormed over, mascara streaked again. Happy now, she screamed through my window. You've destroyed everything. I rolled down the window. No, Brianna, you destroyed everything. I just made sure everyone knew about it. I hate you, she spat. Funny, I replied calmly. That's exactly how I felt when I heard you laughing about me in room 712. Her face crumpled. Finally, she understood. Really understood what she'd done. Bailey, please. I rolled up my window and drove away, leaving her standing there with her boxes of designer clothes and worthless jewelry. My phone lit up one last time. A news alert. Preston Montgomery pleads guilty, names accomplices in shocking testimony. I smiled. The predictable, boring husband she'd mocked had systematically dismantled her entire world. And I didn't feel a single shred of remorse. The Grand Hotel's bar looked exactly the same. Same polished wood, same soft lighting, same view of the elevators where I'd watched Brianna's world collapse. "Your usual?" Evelyn asked, already reaching for the top-shelf whiskey. "You remember?" She smiled. Hard to forget the man who brought down Preston Montgomery. We still talk about that night. I settled into my familiar spot, letting the familiar weight of the place wash over me. My phone buzzed, Detective Knight sending updates about the case. "Preston took a plea deal, 15 years. Your ex-wife's looking at 7-10 for her role. Sophia agreed to testify against both." The elevator dinged. A couple stepped out laughing. For a moment I tensed, but it wasn't them. It would never be them again. "You look different," Evelyn noted, sliding my drink across the bar. "More peaceful." "Do I? The last time you sat there, you were like a bomb waiting to go off. Now," she gestured vaguely, "now you look like someone who knows exactly who he is." My phone buzzed again. Vince. "Board meeting done. You'll never guess who they're promoting to head of data analytics." I smiled. Turned out exposing corporate fraud made quite an impression on the executive team. "You know," Evelyn said, polishing glasses, "we get all types in here. The powerful ones, like Preston, who think they can take whatever they want. The cruel ones, like your ex, who enjoy hurting people. But you, what about me? You're the first person I've seen get revenge without becoming ugly doing it. No screaming, no violence, just quiet justice." I sipped my whiskey, considering her words. Sometimes the quietest moves make the loudest impact. "Speaking of impact," she nodded toward the lobby television. Breaking news showed Preston being led into court, followed by footage of Brianna surrendering her passport to authorities. "They're saying it's one of the biggest corporate fraud cases this year," Evelyn commented, "all because they thought I was too pathetic to notice." Their mistake. My phone lit up one final time. An email from Brianna, probably sent from her lawyer's office. "Bailey, I signed the divorce papers. You won. Are you happy now? Was destroying my life worth it? B." I typed back a single line. "Ask yourself that question every Tuesday and Thursday at 3 p.m. That's when my therapy sessions were." "Another whiskey?" Evelyn asked. I shook my head, standing. "Not tonight. I have a data analytics presentation tomorrow. Turns out being boring and predictable has its advantages." She laughed. "Nothing boring about you, sir. You're just precise." Walking out, I passed room 712. The number plate had been changed, 713 now. Even the hotel wanted to forget, but I didn't want to forget. I wanted to remember every detail. How it felt to discover the betrayal. How it felt to plan my response. How it felt to watch justice unfold with mathematical precision. They thought I was pathetic because I dealt in data and spreadsheets. They never realized that meant I knew how to analyze patterns, track inconsistencies, and execute plans with perfect accuracy. Outside, the city lights sparkled. My phone was quiet now, no more updates needed. The story had played out exactly as I'd calculated. Brianna wanted excitement. She got it. Preston wanted power. He lost it. Sophia wanted to laugh. The joke was on her. And me. I got exactly what I wanted. Justice, served cold and precise, like a perfectly balanced equation. They say revenge is a dish best served cold. But they forget the most important part. It's also best served with careful planning, meticulous execution, and absolutely no room for error. Just like a good spreadsheet.